Hello everyone. I know that all of you are busy with thinking about your assignments, essays, and projects. And this week we will cover the second part of the project workshop, which will help you to start, plan, and organize your projects. And you can finish your projects in a good way and get good results. So, the most critical part related to any assignment, thesis, or project or essay is planning. In other words, you should start you should stop starting and start finishing. Okay, please use this as a motivating quote for you, and let's see the tricks how you can plan, organize, and finish your assignments in a acceptable way. So for every assignment, project, or thesis, this template can be used. So every project has a title, then you have abstract, keywords, introduction. Then in the second part, you should explain the literature, related literature, the background, related literature. So if you use literature review, or if you use background, or if you use related literature, any of these terms are accepted. Okay? Then you should talk about your methodology. Within methodology, you explain basically your research methods, which research approaches that you use for your research. I will post another video related to research methods, but in order to give you some quick information, your research can be quantitative, and normally is when you conduct a questionnaire and you set your questions based on your literature, or you can already find a tested questionnaire and you can also use it. It depends on you and your supervisor. Or you can conduct qualitative analysis. For example, you can do interviews. Within interviews, you can get more insightful data, but it is more time consuming and you can't reach the same amount of people that you can reach by questionnaires. So each method have advantages and disadvantages. And as I said, I will post another video including the benefits of each method. Or you can also use mixed approach. If you especially writing your PhD thesis, I advise to use many methods as possible. Or you can do reviews. Okay, it can be systematic or structured reviews, and it summarizes all the previous research done within that area. So review papers are not easy to write, but they are also really powerful. And then you talk about your findings. The important part here, within the findings, you will explain the results of your research. In many of the theses that we read or we evaluate during the juries, one of the missing parts, findings are explained, but the researcher doesn't conduct enough analysis. So what does the word analysis mean? Within the analysis, you should talk about the similarities between the literature and your findings, or the differences between the literature and your findings. So you should comment on the rationale of your results, whether they are similar results with the previous researchers or whether you have find out new results. You can comment on your hypotheses, whether they are supported or not, and the reasons behind them. One of the main mistakes within the especially young researchers, they do not like to explain or comment if their hypotheses are not supported. If you have a hypothesis which is not supported, it is not something bad, it is something good because you have something new to add to the literature. Okay, so within the analysis, you will compare the information that you have found in section 2 and the information that you will find out at section 4. And also we can, if you want, number them like first section, second section. If you will send them for a publication, this might change depending to the journal standards. So if you are aiming to send your article to a journal, it's better to check their guidelines. But this workshop is designed for you to be able to finish your projects, term papers or essays, so you can follow this structure, which is mainly accepted. Okay, after your analysis, you can also make some recommendations based on your previous work and based on the work. So what are possible recommendations to make? For example, the decision makers, if you search for the effects of electronic government practices. So you might advise them to increase internet speed so everybody else can also use the internet in a good manner without losing their connection, so there will be more demand to use services, so on and so forth. It will depend to your research, and recommendations is advice to summarize your research findings and importance of your research. Okay, one of the another mistakes is writing your abstract and introduction before starting your research. You don't know what your research include, and also you don't know your conclusion unless you finish your research. So introduction, conclusion, and if you are writing an academic paper, the abstract are the last parts that you will write. Okay, so finish your work, then within the introduction explain how the work is presented, the aim of this work, and within conclusion explain what is written within your manuscript. Normally you can use 5 to 8 or 10% introduction from the work on, and conclusion again 10 to 12% is accepted. Another important section which is normally misorganized or not organized effectively within students is the references. Guys, references show the previous works that you read in order to conduct your research. There are many available referencing styles, but mainly within the field of MIS we use APA style, and in upcoming seconds I will show you guidelines about that. Another advice for you for the references, you can download the Mendeley software and it will automatically create your references list within the journal articles that you will read. Okay guys, let's make it more realistic for you. So consider that you will search the effects of social media on students, okay? Or any similar topic. You can change the topic or you can play within the title until the last minute. It's a good topic to search for within the field of MIS? Yes, because it includes social media related to technology, and you also blend in some education when you talk about students, so it's doable. And let's give you some clues how you can conduct your literature. Within the literature, the easiest way to do it, find some keywords that you will search so you can start your search within the databases. So for example, if you talk about social media, it is part of ICT. We can consider it part of ICT. And the best way within the literature is to start broader and then narrow it down, or to start globally and to narrow it down to local level. So we can frame it like that. So you can start with technology use of students. Then you can comment internet use of students, email use of students, personal computer use, laptop use, smartphone use, social media use, then advantages and disadvantages of social media use. For every concept that you will like, I advise you to comment both on advantages and disadvantages. If you are dealing with academia or research, there isn't one correct viewpoint, okay? You should cover both sides. So both advantages and disadvantages should be mentioned, and this will also increase your critical thinking. If you watch the first video, you should remember that the evaluation, the analysis part is the parts where you will gain points. So therefore, you should criticize each concept that you are mentioning, and you should look at in both way. Don't write things subjectively, try to be objective as much as possible, and the best way to be an objective writer is to talk about disadvantages as well. And then when you make your list, you might realize that yes, before PC use of students should be before the internet use. Yes, you can so change their order. Then you will start you search from the databases. And it is also important to have effective database search, because there are thousands of available of research available, but you should find the ones which is related for you. And if you can make effective research, it will be time saving for you. Otherwise you will waste your time to try to find relevant search for your literature. And I know you are also dealing with time pressure. We have also other deadlines and assignments. So being efficient by effective use of keywords is advice for you to conduct your research. So you can use this as a draft. You might find any other templates which will be suitable for you, but the best way is to start working on your paper by visualizing it. You can also use mind maps or any other productivity tools that you will prefer. It is totally up to you. This is just an example for you to motivate you start finishing your assignments. Let's move on with databases. How you can make a search on ScienceDirect or Emerald databases, which is also important because it will determine the quality of references that you will get for your work.